I got something double walled for you. Honestly,
Is it half the price or?
it's half the length.
Okay, I'll take it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you will.
So hot topics: condoms, hot sauce, lawsuits, Instagram
Ooh,
models.
That is a
Actually,
hot topic for sure.
I was thinking about this earlier. So, do you think that Drake he keeps on deck a bottle of hot sauce, or you think he's got like a drawer full of Taco Bell hot sauce packets?
I bet he's got the packets, to be completely
No
honest.
shot it's a
'cause
packet. It's got to be a little bottle.
Oh, it could be a mini bottle for sure.
Yeah, she probably would have saw the if it was the packet, she would have maybe seen that in
Saw
the
the
trash.
wrapper, yeah.
Honestly, what we need to do is we need to capitalize this. We need to start up a fucking quick little fucking thrifty pop-up website that I forget the name of the little e-commerce websites. I forget what they're called. The
OnlyFans?
ones that everybody uses.
I thought you
And
were
like
gonna-
create a shirt that's catchy and funny that involves a condom and a hot sauce. And I bet we could sell 50,000 of them.
Let's just start selling hot sauce flavored condoms.
Or a little bottle of hot sauce called like cum sauce or something, like a catchy name that's like an integration of the word cum and the word hot
Fucking
sauce.
worse.
Cum sauce, yeah, cum sauce is pretty.
Or
Hot
honestly,
cum
we
is
could
even
figure out how to
worse.
genetically modify our dicks to shoot out hot sauce.
Just when I think we couldn't get worse than cum sauce.
Could you imagine
I
coming
know,
hot sauce?
cum. No, it would burn.
That would.
I feel like if it was genetically like the way it's supposed to be, there would be some sort of inner lining on the urethra that would guard your cells from feeling the
Tortilla
pain
chips.
of the.
True.
Yeah.
But not to get too far from the original topic.
Would you have to-
it's pretty gangster just to pour hot sauce in because you could easily flush it, and being Drake, you know what the fuck's gonna happen. You're doing this for fucking shit and goddamn giggles. There's no way you do that with the expectation of it not happening.
Oh, for sure. That was
not
like
coming into fruition for sure.
definitely like a loyalty test.
Well, my biggest thing was, I don't know if it was a loyalty test, but like, how many times in the last whatever decade of fame has he just got done smashing, smoked a cigarette, fucking thought of a sad verse in his head, opened the bathroom door, that bitch is fucking holding the condom, and she's just like, deer in headlights.
Apparently enough
got
times
me.
for him to start putting hot sauce in it.
Facts. You know that 21 Savage line? I put hot sauce on my chicken. Someone needs to redo that verse right now.
I wonder.
I might have to hop behind the mic real quick.
I wonder how many times he's done that, and the chick has done it, and then just hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, imagine the cleaning crew, right? He's smashing in hotels, he's touring, he's in crazy towns. Imagine you're like a middle-aged cleaning lady just doing your rounds, you're emptying the fucking garbage in the bathroom, and there's a fucking condom filled with red goopy shit. Like, what went down in this room?
Well, first of all, if he's in a hotel room, then it's got to be a packet. You think he's checking? He's putting a bottle of hot sauce in his
a tiny
carry-on.
bottle, yeah, it's a tiny bottle. You don't have to.
I think it's part of his EDC, bro. He's got a little...
EDC.
He's got a little carbon fiber formed hot sauce bottle.
Carbon fiber
right
Tabasco
next to
bottle.
his 9.
We just need to start making hot sauce holsters, bro.
Someone should take that picture of that. There's like a older picture of like an old white guy with like a hot sauce bottle.
Yeah,
and
I've seen it.
holster.
That one's
Someone should
hilarious.
take that and just Photoshop Drake's face on it.
Hilarious.
I got you.
The meme content
that
on
earlier.
that has been trash. I have seen no funny memes, only like headlines and then like the TikTok lawyers being like, all right, y'all wanted us to chime in on who would be at fault. Like, I want to see some content involved with the hot sauce condom.
Yeah.
I am curious on like I would imagine she doesn't. I know she's suing him, but I would imagine there's no leg to stand on there.
No, there's not.
Who is the lawyer who took that case? Like, you passed the bar, all right? You spent a decade of your life studying, grinding, staying up late to pass this fucking test, and this chick
she's
walks
a-
in.
I mean,
She's
big influencer.
she's got an Instagram following, and you sit down and you're like, all right, thanks for having this meeting. Would you like some cucumber water? Assistant Joanne, can we get some cucumber water in here? Tell me what happened. What do we got going on here today? All right, well, so I fucked Drake, right? Oh, is this going to be one of those celebrity, like, no consent scandals? Okay, no, it was totally consensual. All right, he used a condom. He wrapped it up, completely consensual. He tossed out the condom, right? So I had the bright idea, being an Instagram model, obviously well educated, to take said condom and try to inseminate myself so that I could trap this motherfucker for the next 18 years of child support on a baby that literally I squeezed the cum out of a condom for. And then what lawyer is sitting across from it and going, I didn't even finish the story yet. And then after I completed said act of self-insemination, I started to get some pain. I got a little itchiness going on. I'm a little bit confused. I've been coming before and it didn't feel like this. Starting to get red. I'm starting to get rash. I realize I take a little sniff. That's fire Diablo sauce from Taco Bell, right? And what lawyer? He's wearing an Armani suit, right? He had his fresh flown in Colombian coffee brought in this morning, and is like, God damn it, I'll take it. We're going to court.
I mean, I would imagine it's one of those scenarios where the lawyer's like, I mean, if this dumb bitch wants to pay me some money to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's either that or it's the lawyer on. She has a lawyer on retainer, and that reaction is completely different. He's gonna be like,
"You sure? Are you sure?
God damn it, again."
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. That was a little bit longer intro than we're used to.
I forgot we didn't do
we went
intro.
on a tangent. But this is the SpaceBar podcast. Thank you for tuning back in. If this is your first time, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm Kyle.
I'm Eric. I think it was quick enough. It was definitely quick enough.
As long as me and Nathan aren't the ones saying it at the same time.
Fastest podcast in the West.
True.
Fastest what?
Podcast.
Wow.
Come and take it.
There's a lot going on. There's like a lot of content going on. We got playoffs. We got.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
We got CES. Have y'all watched the CES highlights yet?
The only thing from CES that I see and I have seen that I do plan on getting eventually in the future is that monitor, the Samsung 55-inch Odyssey whatever monitor, with the multiple inputs in it and the one that turns at 90 degrees. I dream about that thing at night.
That thing. Would you use the vertical mode at all?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I think I
feel
move,
like it's so high.
I would have to. It is pretty high, but I think it curves enough to clear my TV. So yeah, I would definitely do that 100%. Just to do it, honestly, like just to be like, you know what, I'm gonna tilt y'all hose real quick. Like that would be the only thing realistically.
I did it briefly when I had my second monitor. I mean, obviously I don't have a 55-inch monitor, but I had one of mine in like what was that, portrait? For a little bit, just because like that's how our monitors at work were for a while. So it was just something that I was used to seeing, and I thought it would help with desk space. It's pretty chill, but like it was annoying enough to where like all the videos weren't cropped right because it was like a different format.
Well, you can't use that one for videos. That's got to be text only.
Well, it was my Discord screen, so it was
Discord stacking. I feel like Discord stacking works well.
Yeah.
I feel like I used to use the. It depends how many people are in it. Right, if you get above, like I would say, about 4, right? You get 4 solid stacks, right? But if it has to go to double, where if you had like 8 people, it was 4 right next to each other. I feel like they would be a little small.
Well,
but I mean, you get that same problem when it's landscape, right?
Yeah, but I like steady use my second monitor, like watch YouTube and stuff while I play, or like watch TV while I'm playing. So
you got to get a third monitor, honestly.
True.
With as many TVs as we have in this house, I should just find a way to use one of them as my monitor.
Now it's on the wall.
Got one over here that's like maybe like 32 to 34 inches. I just haven't done anything with it. It's literally just been sitting there for like 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
One super cool thing I saw at CES, I was watching a lot of the highlight videos, is we're finally getting motion activated indoor doors, right? So they're all pocket doors. But we'll try to get the video up, and I'll show you guys. But literally, just picture like Star Trek, right? Like old school Star Trek. Like they would go to the doors and it would be like, and then they walk through it, and it was just like that. Except just like a normal door. Like it looks like the appearance of the door just looks like a normal door, but it's a pocket door. If anybody doesn't know what a pocket door is, it slides into the wall. And it's just motion activated. You walk up to it, slips right open.
There's no way in hell I get one of those doors and I don't paint it like a spaceship door. I don't care how bad it stands out. I don't care if my walls are fucking black and gray and it's like a green door, or if it's like a yellow. It's getting painted as a spaceship door.
Oh, for sure.
If it's motion activated and it just slides, yeah, it's 100% getting done.
Actually,
You got to add like a
I would-
speaker to it too.
No.
I would do it too, 100%.
I'd probably do the door from the Mines of Moria in the first Lord of the Rings movie where Gandalf.
That'd be pretty cool. You could do a different theme on every door in your house.
Exactly.
True. But then just like theme the room behind the door as the theme of the door.
You could have a different thing on both sides. Honestly, the way doors work.
They do
valid.
work like that, I've heard.
Oh man.
It's funny.
Have you seen any other cool shit on CES?
What does CES stand for? I don't even know what
It's
that
like the I don't know what it stands for. Here, let's hit a quick Google. So we
Yeah,
don't.
I have no idea.
It's like
but
something
it's-
engineering. It's a convention.
It's a huge. It's like one of the biggest tech conventions of the world, and it's always
I
held
think
in
it's
Las Vegas.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it might as
biggest.
well be the biggest, but it's always held in Las Vegas. And the technology is all cutting edge or bleeding edge or
new.
whatever technology. It's always really cool. It's been
Whatever
Consumer-
buzzword works.
Consumer Electronics Show.
Wow, so creative.
yeah.
I mean, it's been going for a while.
I was
No,
about
I
to say,
know.
when
It's
did
been
it
going for a
start?
long while. They had CES whenever I lived in Vegas, so at least 12 years.
The first CES convention.
Wait, I'm gonna guess
Oh yeah, let's get some guesses going.
1979.
1979,
86.
86.
I'm gonna say 92.
I'm also gonna put in a secondary guess of 2006.
What? Okay, then
So
What?
just a fallback guess.
year
All
one.
right, guys.
Year one, Bob. Year one.
It was before we went to the moon.
Oh wow.
What?
I feel
Damn.
bad for not immediately knowing when we went to the moon.
What did you not
1969,
watch?
buddy.
Even Stevens, bro?
No,
we
I
went
didn't, actually.
to the moon in 1969. That's when we made a landing that was true.
No,
No?
I didn't watch Even Stevens for the
I
first
watched
time
the shit out of Even Stevens,
until Disney Plus came on.
and that has no space in my mind at
True?
all.
Did you watch Even Stevens, though?
I did, and that sounds familiar that you sang it, but I wasn't like a diehard Even Stevens fan.
It was like the only episode that was a musical. Like the whole episode was a musical.
I didn't really
music
watch
is
Disney
not my
Channel
thing.
that much.
But June 24th, 1967 was the first CES.
Groovy.
And it was, at that time, it was an annual trade show organized by the Consumer Technology Association.
I wonder what does it tell you like what type of products were advertised?
That's what I was thinking. I'm
I'm
like,
assuming a lot of like at-home
Floppy
products.
yeah, I'm thinking like microwaves and
Floppy disk
You
in
gotta think that was like
1967.
20 years before
floppy
the
disk was
internet.
invented.
yeah.
So I don't know what kind of
That's fair.
record keeping they did. Now everything's on video, right? If you want to know what's at CES, like there's 1,000 different perspectives, everybody on their phones. But in 67, like was somebody just walking around like, oh, in booth 1932 we have blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
I'm
Wrote
sure.
it down.
I'm sure there's a program.
But then
Yeah.
who took those written documents and transformed them to the internet?
I'm sure everything is online.
I wouldn't say everything.
A lot, like I feel
A
like
lot of stuff is online.
94% of the things I feel like are online.
I
This
was
guy said
gonna
2006
Like,
as
I
a
was-
secondary guess.
Yeah, 100%.
I was gonna say like you could even buy people on or like you can't even buy people on the internet.
Whoa.
I realized, like you
You
definitely
can definitely buy people
I'm
online.
so sure you can buy people on the internet.
100%.
Like,
You're not
every-
seeing.
Whenever I used to go to Shisha all the time,
used
Which
to
is
order
back in, like-
bitches daily.
for reference, I was in 2012, 2013, 2014. There was this dude that would go there. I think his name was Cameron, and he was a gamer, and he would always just go there and play like League of Legends on his Asus fucking massive gaming laptop. And he taught me how to get onto the online black market. And he was telling me that like he would buy like acid on the online black market, and the way they send it to you was that they would send it as junk mail. It would just come as like some no-name company, and it's like their program or whatever.
Right.
So he threw it away. Like he bought like 20 tabs of acid, threw it away because he didn't even know. And he like hit the buyer up and he was like, where's my product? Blah, 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 blah. And the guy was like, it literally, I have the whatever, it arrived. This is what the package looks like. And he was like, oh shit, I threw that away. And he thankfully didn't take his trash out. So he was able to get it and it had like a secret lined pocket on the actual envelope. And that's where his drugs were, which I mean, it makes sense because it's acid, right? So
Shady shit
but yeah,
breeds the most innovative people.
100%.
Facts.
But that was like back then. I mean, I'm sure it's the same now, but
It's
like
still very easy. To
that
get
was
stuff from
Silk
them.
Road and like the Onion Market or whatever. But you could buy ghost guns, and they were like 3,000 to 4,000.
Okay.
You could buy
Before we get
drugs,
too
body
further,
parts.
is it ghost gun? The gun of a ghost,
Yes.
a gun that kills ghosts, or the spirit of a gun that died?
Neither.
I'm sure all three, actually.
None actually. Not neither. Sorry, none of those options. It's a ghost gun. Is a gun with
Oh, it's a
serial
ghost gun. Okay.
numbers. Yeah, a ghost gun is it's a ghost. That's a gun. So that wasn't an option.
Casper the friendly Glock.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, I mean, you could back then you could buy a bunch of just random shit.
I mean, you
like-
still can.
Yeah, for sure. But I think they shut down Silk Road.
I think so. I've heard the name sounds
what they
familiar
want you to
enough
think.
to recognize.
Yeah,
Because I feel
'cause
like
that's
I've-
like the most popular one. I'm sure there's hundreds of other online black markets, but I don't think that one's still around.
I
It was
mean,
probably the most popular one. And you had to like download a VPN and like an IP address switcher and all sorts of shit, so it never came back to you. Like it was pretty in depth.
I think
I still have the instructions on my iPhone, maybe.
I think
'cause
I
it's just
tried
in
to
my notes.
do it once. There's like an app you can download called like DuckDuckGo, I think, and it's like you do it through there or something. Just because I was curious to be like, what's on
That's
this
the
part
only
of the
reason I
internet?
ever got on it 100%.
And then like just after scrolling for a little while, I was like, I don't feel safe.
On the
And
I don't think I would ever do that.
It's just, I mean, like, you don't have to enter any of your own information or anything like that. So I was
True.
literally.
Yeah,
in,
but
like,
no
a-
shot. That's not where the world's best hackers congregate. Like,
I mean, I guess.
I'm not trying to put myself on the radar of anybody who could. Like,
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
the world's
honest.
best hackers are worried about you, Kyle. I'm not even gonna hold you. They'd
Yeah,
hack your
let
shit
that
and be
hacker
like,
take my $35.
Nah, it's not worth my time.
But see, I don't even think it would be like this guy would look at me. I bet he just has a bot that's like, oh, this dumbass didn't know the secret way to get on. He's just an idiot. And then like the AI bot he created automatically fucks my whole life up.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure with how prevalent like hacking is, like that. What was it? A company? It wasn't. I think it was I think it was Cisco. Or no, it was Oracle. Oracle just recently got hit with ransomware. Like,
I still don't understand the concept of ransomware.
so the ransomware is a virus that you can't hack that takes over once it gets on one part of your like
Network.
System.
network. Yeah, network and system, both good words. Thank you so much. Once it gets any part of your system that is a network, it transfers to everything on your network and it locks everything out. So John Kubala, he worked for a company that got hit with ransomware and they wanted like $2 or $3 million, if not more. And the crazy thing was that he works in the tech field. So once his company got hit, all of their clients got hit as well.
Right.
And they were like, they had clients that were like hospital, like small clinics or something like that. And like whatever,
All sorts
I
of
don't
shit.
really know in depth, but yeah. So like those clinics that were, their clients were affected. So it was bad.
Well, I think that's.
But yeah, it's the same thing. So you have to pay, like, basically you have to pay the money. Otherwise you'll really never get your shit back.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but like, couldn't they just like? I feel like there's no guarantee. Like, it's like a
There's
hostage.
not.
Like, so
It's
you what
just
like
like a hostage situation.
what
for
stops
sure.
them from just like taking the 3 million, then and just like saying fuck you and your system and just leaving
feel
it
like
locked up?
Nothing.
It's so, if you take on a big company like that, right? And odds are you've taken on smaller, big companies before and done the same thing. So I feel like as shitty as and weird, right, as it sounds, because you're a criminal, they have to take you at your word and your past So like if you take on all these other companies and do that to them and they pay you and you remove your ransomware, then I feel like that makes it easier and quicker for you to get paid because they're going to be like, yeah, they'll do a quick search or something and they'll be like, well, this company got hacked and they paid and it was 24 hours and all their stuff was back online. So
they actually paid?
I don't know if Oracle paid.
Because like I know,
I think
no, I mean,
John's
like,
company
John's.
I think they ended up paying. I don't know. It's been like 4 or 5 years.
I can't remember what company it was, but it was like within the last 2 years, there was some company that like had the same thing. Like somebody hacked their shit and was like held it for ransom. And I think one of their tactics is like, pay us or we're gonna like do all sorts of crazy shit with your customers' information. And the company was like, no, and then they just released all of their customer shit.
Sony.
Oh, was it?
That happened to Sony like twice with their online player, whatever, their Xbox Live.
I got
their
emails from
PSN.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, a bunch of
about that
people got their credit card information put on the internet because of essentially the same thing.
Yeah, and I would imagine like the hackers are like selling it to people on the dark web.
Yeah.
But I would also imagine that's probably how they have to like request the ransom as well. But I feel
Via
like
the dark web.
yeah,
It's not
Yeah,
like
it's
a
all
Craigslist
probably
post.
Bitcoin.
like I'm just
Yeah.
curious. Yeah, I was gonna say like Bitcoin or any sort of like coin seems like that would be the I guess smartest play there.
Yeah, because I
But-
mean that's how. Whenever you got on the Silk Road, that's how you had to pay was Bitcoin because that was at the time, right? That was like the only
Right.
coin, the largest coin that everybody knew about.
Right.
But yeah,
I just
so
wonder
you
how
had to
many
pay like in Bitcoin.
I wonder how many companies like just don't pay and then nothing happens.
Hypothetically, in a world where
In a
I
world.
was involved in illegal gambling, which I wasn't. This is all just a hypothetical situation. I could have, at one point in my life, possibly had several Bitcoins to use on online websites for gambling in an alternate reality.
I remember you
And,
talking about this hypothetical situation. It was really good. It was
Like,
very well
and
thought out.
It was back when they were like, I think they were like $200 for one. I had a couple, and I don't know if I ever cashed them out. I think I lost one or two of them, and I think there might be one sitting out there. Hypothetically, there might be one in an alternate reality where this happened to, Kyle in the multiverse.
In this reality, there's some dude that like has his hard drive that's got like I think like 40 bitcoins on it or something like that, but he doesn't know the
More.
password.
It's
He
like
found it.
110.
Oh, did he? Nice.
He didn't find the password. He went and got it from a
I thought it was his.
landfill. He like dug up
Well,
a
no,
landfill.
I thought he threw it away. Price jumped,
And then he found it.
He went and found it, but
and now he doesn't know the password.
Yeah, well, there's like you get 3 tries, and on the third attempt, it erases the hard drive, and he's already tried twice. So right now, it's just. I'm surprised
Also,
he honestly hasn't figured out a way to sell the hard drive. Like, I mean, I know it's crazy hard for somebody to guess a password somebody else set, but I'm sure there has to be some sort of a way to get into that shit.
But it also it comes down on his word, right? There's nothing for him to prove that that's on that hard drive, so that's a big gamble.
That's a big
for
gamble.
anybody.
I don't think anybody would take.
I would
it.
literally
Yeah.
unalive myself if I like had to stare at a hard drive that has 40 plus Bitcoin on it every day.
You think about the guy that paid 10,000 Bitcoin and like 2,000 for a pizza.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. What an idiot.
10,000 Bitcoin. Could you imagine?
Every time I play that scenario, if you could go back in time, what would you do? That's always like the top thing. Is just investing in some sort of coin. Because it's just like with like sports and shit, I don't watch enough sports to like know the actual scores of games to like go and make bets like that. I don't pay attention to companies to like put money in stock, but it's like, yeah, I can buy 100 Bitcoin and be like, and that's it. And be set
You'd
forever.
buy way more than 100.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like I was more of like a less greed thing. It's just like, yeah, I'm good at 100. Like,
Because you thinking about
I
going
would be
back
greedy
and,
as fuck.
oh, 100%. I'm buying like, I'm mining like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 Bitcoin. Fuck a couple hundred. I'm as many as I can, 100,000 if that's possible.
just not much of a
And then I would
gambler.
just do all sorts of like philanthropy. Philanthropic?
Philanthropic.
Philanthropic things.
Philanthropic, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough word for sure.
Yeah. So, but I'm thinking like if you go back in time, right, and let's say I went back 5 years, I wonder how much a season long, like I don't think anybody would ever take it, but a season long parlay on our record, like if you were like, let's say baseball, right? Because there's 162 games, and you bet a line for just the Rangers, and you were like, they're gonna win this game 4-3, or this game, or if you just bet the hard line win loss, how much do you think that would pay out? That would have to pay out crazy.
Not, I mean, kind of related, but unrelated. I saw a TikTok the other day of this parlay this guy did. He put down 50 cents and then picked like 5 to 8 NBA players to score the first point of their game, won all of them, and won like 150 grand.
Yeah. There's another guy that did that, but he did it with 40 grand and he won like 1.2 million. And he took the under on several players. One of them was including Draymond Green on Klay Thompson's return night. And right before the game, like it was, Draymond Green is injured. So right before the game, he had said, well, when Klay got injured, whenever he tore his ACL or MCL, he left the court and he came right back and shot those 2 free throws. So this is the least I can do. I'm injured, but I'm going to start with him. So he literally started. The team that they played got the ball. He got a quick foul, got out. So that was like the last part of his bet, and he won like over $1 million or something like that.
My biggest thing about gambling, whenever I think about it, you always hear the stories like of the people who make the money and win the money, but it's a Vegas thing, dude. The house always wins. There's no shot that gambling would still be around if the people letting you make the bets weren't coming out
100%.
with like way bigger multiples of what anybody has ever made ever.
Yeah,
right?
There's no, they're not like nobody. It's like, I feel like it's like probably a 1 in a million or 1 in 10 million chance that someone bets a hard line parlay for like 6 to 10 games and they hit all of those and they're crazy enough for them to make 10, 20, 30 times their money, right? Like that's crazy. But like straight bets, yeah, I'm sure that's not a big deal. But I mean, you got to think like the same casinos that are doing the sports bets have their own casinos, and fucking slots never pay. The house normally wins, so it is what it is.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Like, did y'all see the Mr. Beast thing where he spent $1 million on scratch off tickets? So he spent $1 million on scratch off tickets, and then he scratched them all off. So there's like new age scratch off tickets, right? So you can just scan the QR code, right?
Yeah.
He hired a team of like 10 or 15 people, I don't remember the exact number, to come, and they had to work for 4 days just to scan them all in, right? And he told them that they could keep 10% of whatever they won off their scannings, right? But really what he did is he found a private island for $700,000. And first of all, out of the $1 million, he won $750,000. So the win rate on a long enough scale is like 75% of what you put in, right? So if you put in $10, you're going to win $750 on a long enough timeline, right? For every $10 you spend, you'll win about $7.
Was it all the same type of ticket?
Yeah, okay. It was. But so he won like $720,000. So he gave $70,000 to the people in cash, right? He came and dropped it out. And then those 10 or 15 people, he's taking them to that private island, hosting his own personal survivor tournament. And whoever wins out of those people that did the scratch offs gets to keep the island.
That's so nuts, bro.
Honestly,
This
fuck
is
that.
crazy.
Like, I don't want an island.
Fuck that. I want an island.
Bro, imagine
100%.
I don't know. I feel like the tax
Or you could just sell the island, right? Like
Yeah, at the very least, you get a free $700,000.
You're not held at gunpoint to keep the damn island. You list it up immediately.
I don't know. I think I keep.
Yeah, if I were to sell it, right, I'd list it up for 10% under cost of what it was. I'm taking
this is all right.
money.
This is the play.
I feel like
this
there
is
would
the
be
play.
tons of legal fees involved. You can't just give somebody an island and be like, "That's it, no like taxes, no nothing." Like, here's an island. You don't hand a deed of an
Mr.
island
Beast-
over. I know he
So
pays
I-
people
No,
in
it's
cash,
come out
but
the
it's
way
an
that-
island.
No, Nathan. Mr. Beast pays taxes on everything that he gives away.
Well,
He
not just
pays
Mr. Beast.
taxes. Oh, yeah,
People,
his team.
I'm saying anybody. So if I gave you $20,000, you're not responsible.
Yeah,
to
but
pay
you can
taxes
also
on
write it off
I
on your
am.
taxes as a. Well, I guess depending on what it is, like you can write it off. I know there's a gift limit. I don't know what the amount is, but then you could also just write it off as charity and problem solved. What
Just
I'm
like
just
they
saying
already
is, I
does
feel
for a lot
like
of it.
it's not going to be a simple transaction of being like, "Congratulations, you won this Survivor. Here's an island."
But this is what you do,
I'd be
right?
pissed. That's like getting somebody like I know I just did it, but it's like, you know how like when people get other people animals for Christmas, and it's like, here's this responsibility for the next like X amount of years. Now imagine that, but with a whole fucking island.
It's not
But you're
the
looking
same.
at it all wrong,
It's
man.
not the
Like,
same.
so right. If I
First
got an
of all-
island,
Hold on real quick, Kyle.
Go.
What type of bird? It's not a fucking burden to own an island.
Yeah, what kind of Nathan hates everything ass episode is this?
Facts, bro. Oh no, let me just. I have
Fuck
an
you
island.
and giving me an
You
island.
think that you're not
Bro,
paying
no.
property taxes on a whole ass island? You think they're
First of
just
all,
letting you
first-
be out there to exist?
It
Absolutely
depends
not.
where it is. There are plenty of countries out there that don't have any kind of property taxes.
That's a fact.
That's the thing. You'd have to know
That's
it
why.
is.
That's
But
why people
reg-
are moving to Puerto Rico.
regardless
By
of
the way.
all of them, they moved to Puerto Rico because there's no income tax. There is a
Yeah.
property tax there, but yes, to
fair.
avoid taxes. So what you do is, right, you now have a $700,000 on an island. Yes, there's going to be costs involved, right? But what you do is now you have a $700,000 asset. When you have an asset worth $700, what you can do is you can take out loans against that asset. So what you do is you take a $700,000 loan, and what you do is you build a private island getaway resort that's maybe multiple on opposite sides of the island. I don't know how big the island is. Obviously big enough to host some sort of competition.
So
don't
now
know-
I gotta run a business?
you hire someone to
no.
run. First of all,
Not
running a
me
business
making-
is
You know who would do it? My fucking dwarves.
this
Good
guy.
callback. Good callback.
Now you got a home for your dwarves. First of all, your private island is where you house your army of 1,000 dwarves. I mean, I'm sure $700,000 is enough land space to house the dwarves. But that's what everything is. Tell me you wouldn't rather run your own private island resort rather than answer telephone calls about somebody else's credit card machines that they're making all the money off of.
I mean, for sure, but
I mean, you got to do something, Nathan.
No, it's not a for sure, but it's just a quick for sure.
Because if you sell it, right? Let's say you sell it. Let's say you sell it for cost. You got to pay taxes on it because you live in America. So you have to pay, let's say, 40%, right,
worry
of the
about-
$700,000, right? So let's say you get what, $500,000, right? Now you live comfy off $500,000, right? So let's say you spend $50,000 a year, right, on your car, your insurance, food, your mortgage, whatever it is, right? How many years is that buying you, right? That's not a forever thing. And then what do you do after you just spent the last decade and a half living cheap? And now you're 45, you got to go back to work. You don't have any skills. All you've done is sit on your ass for the last 15 years.
okay, but
What the
think
fuck do you do
about
then?
all right, so it's an island, so think about having to pay contractors and all sorts of people to come out and build infrastructure on that island. And then according to this NPR episode, people will just claim your island as theirs, and then that's that. Like,
Only if you're not actively using your island.
Which you would be
guess.
actively using because there's a resort there.
You could
So
do that with
people would
people's
be-
houses. You know, if you move
That's
into
true.
someone's
Yeah,
houses
yeah.
and you live there for 10 years and you pay their property taxes, after a long enough period of time, it becomes your house.
And there is legally nothing they can do
Legally,
about
they
it.
have nothing they could, because you pay the
It's
property
super
taxes on
shitty.
it.
It's
Water
super,
rights.
It's, a
It's
super
not
weird thing.
really.
I missed the first
those
half of
dudes are-
this because I thought I shit myself, but I didn't. So.
Can we went to that story a little bit deeper.
Dude, I have bubble
I think I
guts.
saw the panic set in your
I
face
have
when you got
bubble
off work.
guts, and I was
I thought
sitting
you were gonna
here,
throw up.
and I kept on looking at the time, and I was like, I don't think I can make another 40 minutes of this. And I was like, let me
At least
just
you weren't
pass
stuck in the
gas.
car.
Yeah. So I was like, let me just pass gas a little bit, and then just it was just a little bit too much, and I was just like, oh, and I was like, let me just go ahead and take care of this real quick.
Wet wipes.
But
Bare undies.
but I'm good. We're all good. But
We're naming this episode "Drew Shit His Pants." I'm just letting you know.
See the fucking clip art. It's gonna look so nice. The thumbnail is gonna be
It's
perfect.
gonna be a great thumbnail.
Well, just an aggressive face from you.
You know what you're gonna. You know what you're. I'm gonna have you shitting into a Tabasco-filled condom, and that's gonna be the thumbnail.
On your own island.
On your own private island.
I don't think a condom's gonna make TOS on YouTube as a thumbnail.
no, it's not. What's the whole origin of all this? An island or $500,000?
So we were talking about were you here for the Bitcoin conversation about telling ourselves about Bitcoins?
Yes.
In the past. All right. So we elevated that to sports betting, and off sports betting, we got into gambling. And from gambling, we got into the odds of the lottery. And from there, from the odds of the lottery, we got into, did you see that Mr. Beast bought $1 million worth of lottery tickets?
No, I didn't.
So Mr. Beast bought $1 million. We're recapping for all the people on the episode, just so you know. Just a quick recap of what went on in the last 25 minutes. So Mr. Beast, Cliff knows Mr. Beast bought $1 million worth of scratch-off tickets. He had to hire a team of like 12 people over 4 or 5 days to scan in the lottery tickets to see how much he won. Long story short, he ended up making like $750,000 off of the million, right? So he took that money, used it to buy a private island somewhere. It didn't get into the details of where.
I saw he bought a private island as well. Yeah.
He's going to host his own Survivor competition on that private island with the 12 people that did the scratch offs for him to, scan them all in. And whoever wins the Survivor that Mr. Beast hosts gets to keep that private island. And from there, we discovered that Nathan really does hate everything because he would literally be mad if Mr. Beast gave him a $750,000 million island.
Facts. Also,
bro, all right. So just for this,
hold on, Nathan. Netflix has to be so pissed off, bro, with the fucking.
I'm curious how he gets away with it.
Not even that, but like with the ratings and everything that he had from his fucking his Squid Room, I was gonna say Suicide Squad.
That's Logan Paul.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You stopped at the
Squad.
wrong word.
Because Suicide Squad popped into my mind.
We're gonna have to beep all of this. We just had like 8 beeps.
With the Squid Game episode that he had.
Squid Root's what I call my dick.
And that had like 120 million views in a week. Now he's gonna do this. Netflix has got to be molding, bro.
I'm surprised y'all haven't seen it. It was a hot minute ago.
Well, I mean, I took forever to watch like Squid Games, and like I finally watched it and was like, oh, okay. And then I just didn't feel.
I'll tell you now, the Mr. Beast Squid Game shit was more.
I don't know. I don't
fun to watch than regular Squid Games.
I'm not.
I really enjoyed.
For the most part, I'm not into like.
I enjoyed the last half, I guess, but.
Reality TV.
Yeah, like aside from like Jeopardy and like game shows and shit like that, like I like that.
Where you can
stuff.
participate as like.
Yeah, like
the viewer.
Yeah, like
Facts. I do be getting questions right on Jeopardy, so,
dude. I love getting like multiple in a row and be like, oh, I could fucking do this, and then they ask a question, and I'm just like, I didn't even know those were words.
Yeah, facts. Okay, go on your rant about the island.
Oh, okay. So on top one, I just feel like the legal logistics of owning an island are a nightmare. 2, you have to pay for somebody to come in and build an infrastructure. And on top of having to pay for them, it's estimated around a 30% more like import tax on having to bring literally anything into it. Then you have to find a way to get to the island, because you got me fucked up if you think I'm about to live on an island like secluded from literally everybody. Like, I mean, it sounds like a dream, but at the same time, I've spent enough time alone to know that I don't want to hang out with myself that much.
So people there all the time.
First of all, we need to set some boundaries because we have no idea anything about the island, right? So in order to have an intelligent conversation, we need to like pick a size of an island, and then we need to pick a location because like. I don't think it's like what Nathan's thinking of. I don't think it's like fucking, oh, you got to get on a 5-hour helicopter ride to get out to this island in the middle of fucking nowhere. I think it's like, think of fucking South Padre. That bitch is an island, but they just built bridges from the mainland.
Yeah, but...
And you're fucking there.
Does the U.S. even sell islands like that? I feel like that's a Caribbean-specific thing.
It's definitely not a U.S. island.
It's in the Bahamas.
Bahama Islands are around 40 to like 50 grand.
It's Golden K. It's right
hold
off
on,
the
hold
coast
on,
of
hold on. Pause.
That's what this article says.
We could buy an island?
But it's
Why are we
also
not?
like that's probably like a small island, and I feel like
What is small
that's
though?
fine
Like
by me, bro.
we're just
That's what
saying
I'm saying,
words
like-
here, all right? Venti means 20. It's the only one that doesn't mean large.
don't know,
You're
I'm
stupid
looking-
in
I'm-
3 languages.
I'm looking at an image of this island, and it's not big, right? It's not like a main island by any means, but it's large enough.
Hey,
If I
man.
had
well,
to
then
guess-
how in
It's bigger than
If I
any
had to
island I've
guess-
ever owned.
I would say it's like a rectangle, right? So I would say the long ends.
and then even if you
probably
are running a
mile
resort,
and a
how
half,
many
2
other
miles.
island resorts are around
We're
that are
talking
way
5
more
square miles.
established?
That's so worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's not about the establishment. First of all,
it's a
you would
large
make the
island.
resort nice. You would make the resort nice. And then what you do is you rent it out to cover all of your expenses every year, to pay back your loan, whatever you have to do to build the establishment. And then you take 2-3 weeks out of the year and you stay there for fucking free.
I'm going to retract my previous statement. It's actually 3.4 acres of lush vegetation, good elevations, and a beautiful white sand beach with coconut trees, all surrounded by gorgeous turquoise waters, spotted with excellent diving reefs.
So it's
a
relevant-
mere 10 minutes away by boat
10 minutes.
from Spanish Wells.
I don't know where Spanish Wells is, but it's 10 minutes away.
It's
but hey,
literally right off the coast.
can we get some Googling? I can't. What is 3.5 acres in like a square mile, right? Is that like a mile by a mile? I feel like 3 acres by 3.5 acres is less than a mile by a mile. Because I've seen houses with acre lots, and I think if I lined up
It's
3 of them,
point
Yeah,
zero
one
zero
square
five
mile is
four.
640 acres. Yeah, it's a pretty small island. I lied.
Yeah, so even like on the smaller islands, if you have a resort and there's like hurricane season, your island's fucked.
That's
so you wouldn't
everybody.
do a resort, you would do a vacation home, right? So it wouldn't be a place where you housed multiple people.
Killer
It would be,
Airbnb.
yeah, it'd be like you get a group of like 8 or 10 people to rent it out. You charge a lot, and then like you wouldn't even have to make it crazy. You'd advertise it as get away from the leisure of
Yeah.
life and live bare bones on this
100%,
island.
yeah. With
Get
it being
back to the
close
roots
enough-
of your
yeah.
culture.
And with it being as close as it is to like the main island of the Bahamas, people would snap that shit up so fucking fast.
So
bro.
quick.
It literally looks like a 20-minute boat ride from like. the
I feel like
Bahamas.
people going to islands aren't going to an
you
island to
seen-
have a little rustic
how-
vacation. They're dropping
Not rustic. I'm not
fucking
trying to-
tons of
First of all,
money.
I don't.
I'm
mean
just
this in any
talking
way.
not
You know
like
how many white
luxury.
People love rustic vacations, bro.
Yeah,
White
for
people
sure.
would eat that
Log
up so damn
cabins.
quick.
For sure.
I'm saying people go to Broken Bow. Why do you think that is?
I don't even know what that is.
it's
in
a
Oklahoma.
bow that's no longer functional.
Accurate.
You said Broken,
It's a
and I
log
thought you were going to
cabin.
say Broken Skull Ranch, and I was like, I didn't know that Stone Cold Steve Austin had an Airbnb.
No,
I thought you were going to
don't
say
think it is.
Brokeback Mountain. Now we're just talking about a whole
Also
nother
no.
category.
You know, I've
People
always
go to
wanted
Broken
to.
Bow, which is a log cabin,
Fuck a dude.
getaway in Oklahoma.
No, I've always wanted to watch that movie, and I use my mom's like Netflix account, and for a while it was on Netflix, and I almost watched it, but I was like, there's like a solid chance that my mom would like log into my profile and then just have questions. Like, why?
I thought you were going to say that there was a solid chance that you watch it and like you have questions.
That's why you watch it on someone
Dude,
else's
could you-
profile, Nathan. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I know. But could you imagine
Watch
if
it
at
on
like
her
28
profile,
years
so she
old I
asks
watched
herself
Brokeback
those
Mountain?
questions.
He watches Brokeback Mountain, and he's texting me, I'm watching Brokeback Mountain. 2.5 hours later, there's a knock on my door.
No, there's no knock. It's the dead of night. It's 3:30
slide
in the
into
morning,
bed.
pitch black. The door creaks. A small sliver of light starts to enter the room. You have no idea what's going on. Maybe it's Clarissa. Maybe she just had a bad night and just snuck on over.
Yeah, you just feel
You
the
see
hair.
the long hair. You go to grab her face. There's a beard
honey.
there.
Oh no, Nathan!
What are you doing, step roommate?
Similar but not similar at all. So I don't know how well you guys have a grip on your dreams. I don't know if you know what that even means.
Are you talking about
Like
lucid
my
dreaming?
aspirations?
I my passive trait if I was a video game character is that I lucid dream. I'll let my dream go on however I want it to go. You know, it literally is like on auto tracks, and it's just going however it wants to go. As soon as I'm done, I'm all right, I'm out, and then I'll just wake up. Like as soon as I'm done with whatever's going on in the dream, I'm like, okay, I'm done with whatever's going on here, and I'll just wake up.
I'll be hitting the main missions.
Yeah, basically. Sometimes even
Checkpoint.
even sometimes in my
Skip
dreams,
ads.
I'll pause it. And like a pause screen will come up, and I'll be like, "Do I really want to deal with this?" And then I'll hit quit, and then I'll wake up. Anyways,
Hold triangle to skip cutscene.
so because I have such a strong control or grip on my dreams, I don't really have nightmares. Whenever I'm not happy about what's going on, I'll wake myself up. For the first time in like years, I had like my first nightmare or whatever. Long story short, I was just in this like old rustic room. And there was a person sitting in the bed under the covers, just like sitting up straight, like bobbing their head. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And then I like turned around, and then I turned back at the bed, and now they're just standing up in the bed. So I was just like, in my head, in the dream, I'm just like, oh, this is like one of those scary movies. It's just going to go flat. And so I go to the edge of the bed. I'm like, oh, really? And there was nothing there. Then I wake up, and I'm talking like full speed, just in my room. And then 2 like bounces in my bed. And then there's something over me. Basically, I had sleep paralysis. And then like an arm slams, because I'm like laying on my side, an arm slams down. And I look at it, and like I'm seeing my room, and I'm like, oh fuck, what the fuck? And I start looking up, and then I see a faceless figure, and I'm like, no, I don't want to look at that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, fuck this shit. And I'm like, I'm just gonna like attack him. So I go, so basically I woke up going, and then just sat in my room and was just like, damn, I haven't had like a sleep paralysis situation in my life in like a super fucking long time. I felt betrayed by my own brain. I was like, this is what dementia patients feel like.
My dad's grandmother, whenever my mom and my dad got divorced, it was an ugly divorce. Whenever they got divorced, my dad's mom had cast a hex on my mom. And my mom was like super confused by the whole thing. She was like, whatever. This is 2000 and whatever. Let's be real here. A couple of years go by, or maybe a couple of months. I don't really know the timeline. All I know is like right after that, or soon after that, my mom started suffering from crazy sleep paralysis, where she would wake up and she would see like a faceless figure or something that was sitting on her chest and she couldn't move. And another one was like in the corner. And it got to the point where like my grandparents, my mom's parents, had come into town to basically like decontaminate's not the word, but like
Cleanse
full
stuff.
like say did a full cleanse, like a Hindu cleanse and all this shit. Like they drew ohms on the walls, they left lemons by the doors, and those lemons were there for like years, and they had dried up and shriveled up. It was crazy. They put an ohm on the door. It was wild, bro. But literally right after that happened, right after my grandparents came into town, my mom never had another dream like that.
I wonder how much of that
Nuts.
stuff is like a psychosomatic thing, like even if it's just
Placebo.
like your subconscious, like it happened.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't have had it if she hadn't known about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot. I don't know. I mean,
I don't really
I think
believe in...
to each their own, right? So
Yeah.
none of us can say either way, but I'm in the camp that it's psychosomatic. Like, I've never
Right.
had an experience like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have nightmares, and for the most part, I don't remember my dreams. But there have been a couple times where I've woken up, like, and y'all have heard me lose my shit when I'm laughing. Like, I've woken up laughing like that, and I'm talking like Monsters Inc. when the little kid gets scared out of the bed and he shoots straight up, and it's like that, but laughing, and it's so unnerving. It feels so unhinged. Just like, like I was just asleep. Why was I like? I never remember why I was laughing either.
Everybody remember this story. This is Nathan's villain arc.
Yeah, like it's
Come into
like
play.
it's so like confusing to like, because once I stop laughing, like I have to sit there and be like, why was I laughing? Wait, I was
Yeah.
just asleep. What just happened? It's bizarre.
That is
My
wild.
thing, my thing has always been, so I almost never have dreams. I would say like 95%. So like out of 365 days in the year, I probably have like a dream that I can remember when I wake up, like maybe a dozen times, maybe 20 at tops, right? But what's crazy is, right, so I'm married, right? So I sleep in a bed with someone every night. So Natalie says I talk in my sleep almost every single night. And I never get up, but sometimes I'll sit up and like I do lots of stuff with my hands. Like I'm a very active sleeper. So what's crazy to me is obviously my brain is active, right? So I don't really know how dreams work on like a deep scientific neurological
Like a
level,
consciousness level.
but not a conscious level, but like a hard science level. Like obviously, thoughts in your brain, a lot of it is trackable. Like when you feel fear, like a certain part of your brain lights up. Like when you're feeling certain emotions, like different parts of your brains light up when you're being creative, right? All of that shit is like electrical signals in your brain that's like very, very scientifically proven to be what's going on in your head. So obviously that shit's going down in my brain while I'm asleep, but I never have memories of it. So that shit's pretty crazy to me to think about. Like she says I say all sorts of crazy stuff in my sleep. Like sometimes it's like not legible is when you can read it, but what's the verbal equivalent to that? To like legible, like a synonym to understandable.
Non-intelligible.
Comprehensive.
Intelligible would probably be a good one. Like a lot of the time it's unintelligible, like it's mumbling almost. Like you could tell that I'm like speaking, but it's my brain isn't making the full connection to my vocal cords. I
Not
guess.
coherent.
But sometimes it's very crystal clear. So all that shit's wild.
You should download one of those.
I've had a dream.
apps.
Yeah, that records you in your sleep. When I was a kid, I had a dream that was crazy and it's stuck in my mind forever. And I guess I used to move a lot as a kid. I still move in my sleep a lot, but I had a dream like I was running to the top of bleachers, like high school bleachers, and I got to the top and I slipped and I fell straight down the bleachers. I got to the top and fell right back down. And I got to the bottom part and I was right before I hit the ground and I was about to hit the ground and I woke up and I was standing in my bed and fell directly backwards.
Whoa.
That was crazy.
That's sick.
That freaked me out. But I also had dreams like as a kid where I would wake up and like have a full day, get home, and then I would actually like physically wake up.
Wow. I've been on
That was
antidepressants
the
and
worst,
shit that
bro.
made me do
Oh
that.
my god, that shit used to piss me off.
When I was
This is gonna be internet put me on blast, but so this actually happened. So have you ever had dreams where you're going to the bathroom in your dream and you wake up and you're pissing in your bed?
Yeah, 100%. I have dreams like that now, but I'm not pissing. It's like right before I'm about to piss.
it's right before
I
you-
have to pee
If
real
I've
bad.
been drinking or
I
anything
haven't-
like that, oh my god, bro! I wake up and I'm like, I gotta go, and I'm darting to the bathroom.
I never get it with poop though. Like I will wake up because
I've
like
gotten
my
it a few
stomach has to
times.
poop, but in my dreams it's never like, oh, I gotta shit. It's
I've
Yeah,
gotten it a
definitely
few
never
times
shit
where I'm
my
like
dreams.
sitting down and I'm like I'm crowning basically on the toilet in my dream,
Now-
and then I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck, let me
Groundhog
just-
Day.
right.
Yeah.
Like now that I can,
just squeeze and
like now that I think of it, like I don't think I've ever shit in a dream.
No. I mean, I
can't
have
say that
very,
I have
very few memorable dreams. So.
completed a shit in a dream, but I've definitely gotten like through the first 10% of a shit.
Right.
When I was a kid, when I was like 7 or 8, or probably a lot younger, probably more like when I was like 4 or 5, because I don't think my little brother was alive. I had a dream that I was like at like a stadium or some bullshit, and like I was walking to the bathroom, found like a urinal and was peeing, and in the middle of the dream, I woke up and I was just peeing in my dirty laundry hamper. Just straight up
Shout out to
pissing.
Tanner. Whenever we went to South Padre and rented a, it was an Airbnb before Airbnb is a thing. It's like a cabin or whatever, a beach house, but it wasn't like owned by Airbnb.
Someone's vacation home.
We got fucking wasted the first night, right? And we drank until like 2 or 3 in the morning. We were drinking the house. We could literally walk to the beach, like from our house, and I wake up in the middle of the night. So this was like 2011, so I was still in a relationship with Heather, and Heather was with me, and I had broken my toe, so I'm in a cast, right, and I'm like fucked up on codeine, right, because they gave me pen pills for my shit. It's like in the middle of the night, and I go to get some water from the kitchen, right? Everything's pitch black. There's like 3 bedrooms. There's like 4 couples, and I think like a one person that's not in a couple, right? So we have like 3 couples in bedrooms, like, and then 1 couple in the living room with 1 spare person, right? I'm walking to the kitchen, and I hear water running, right? And it's like pitch black, right? And I don't know what's going on. It's the first night there, so I'm not really acclimated to the area, right? So I turn on the light, and the water heater was centralized, right? It wasn't in a garage; it was centralized in a closet. And so the door was open, and I hear the water running, and I fucking turn on the light, and Tanner's standing there, dead asleep. This motherfucker is not conscious, pissing in the water heater closet. No. And I have to wake him up and be like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing?"
That's hilarious.
I've had
Hilarious.
it was like some house party. I think it was when Tanner was living with me. I don't remember whose party it was, but like I remember Tanner was in the back seat, and he's like at this point like blacked out drunk already, and like just slumped over in my back seat. I remember stopping somewhere, getting Whataburger. The person in the passenger seat being like, "Tanner, do you want anything? We're at Whataburger." He like sat up for a second, just looked at her, and then just like went back down. So it was like, all right, whatever. Drop her off, get to the house, and like I get out of the car and I turn, and like Tanner is just like out. Opened the door, hasn't done anything, so I'm just like, ugh. Like I can't just leave him in my car. It was like winter time too, so like I open the door and I'm like shaking him, like, Tanner, wake up, like let's go inside, and he's just like not doing anything. And like there was like I eventually like got him up and got him inside, but there was like a part. Actually, he didn't even live with me because I just remembered a bit at the end of the story. So I wake him up, get him inside of the house. And then in the next morning, he'd never been to my house, so he doesn't know where he's at. I see him, and he was like, I literally had to look for mail to see whose house I was at. I was like, that's honestly like solid critical thinking for sure. Like, I wouldn't have thought that. I would have just left.
No. Yeah.
And then hoped someone would have been like, hey, why'd you leave? But yeah, Tanner sleeps heavy when he's fucked up.
Crazy.
I mean, I do as well, but not that bad. But so back to the dream thing. Like now, as an adult, for the most part, I don't really dream too much unless I'm like obsessed with something in my current day-to-day life. Like whenever I first learned how to play 2s and 10s or whatever it's called, that's all I wanted to play. Like I would go to Shisha and I would play that, or I would play 13, and I was obsessed like with playing 13. And so that was like the highlight of my day. And then like whenever Valorant came out, I was obsessed with playing Valorant. Like I have dreams about that, and that is it. And I'll have like almost lucid dreams, I guess, about just that.
Right.
It's super weird. And I wake up and I'm like, the fuck is going on, bro?
That makes me feel weird because I still have like extremely vivid dreams almost every single night, and I can recall most of them. I can tell you what happened in the demon dream. I mean, that I don't know. It's weird. I didn't know.
I think it's like dreams like that.
When I take tolerance breaks is usually the only time that I dream, and it's usually like maybe a week or two into the break before it like starts happening again.
Gotta get out of your system.
And yeah, well, it's just kind of like I think your brain doesn't actually like get into like a deep REM otherwise, and so that's when I'll do it. And then I'll still have like not crazy vivid, because I also have I'm blanking on the name of it, but I literally don't have an imagination. Like I close my eyes and like try to picture a red square. It's just black. Like I don't. It's called like aphantasia, brain blindness. Yeah, like I didn't find out until probably a couple of years ago. Like I texted my siblings and I was like, hey, real quick, when y'all close your eyes and like I say like picture this, do you actually like picture that, or do you just have an idea of what it is in your brain? And I know that kind of like is hard. Do you have an inner monologue? Yeah, I have an inner monologue and shit, but like
I talk to myself too much not to have an inner monologue.
Like the the only way that I can like really see stuff is like if I close my eyes. The best way I can describe it is, you know how like sometimes when it's like real hot outside, you can see the air kind of moving around.
Yeah.
It's like I can see that, and if I follow it with my eyes enough, like the flow of it, and I'm thinking about a specific thing, then I can see a vague image of what that thing is. But if I start thinking about it too hard, then it just continues to flow to something that I don't have control over.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I'm like
it's-
having like I'm trying to concentrate on y'all's faces, but I can like see the things that I'm like attempting to think of at this point in time.
When you
Like,
said a
just-
red square,
to
it
confirm
was like
that
I
it's
was
still
in
there.
VR and something popped up and it was like red square.
No, like closing my eyes right now, trying to picture a red square, literally just blank. Sometime now
That
I can
sucks.
kind of see this part of the square, like not the if this is the square, I can only see this bottom half, like kind of diagonal, and it's not a color, it's a vague shape. But I've always thought it was weird because I can dream normally. Like when I dream, it is actual dreams. I do see shit. It's only like if I try to like use my imagination or whatever. And then up until
Imagination.
and then yeah, like I text my siblings, asked them if they saw it, and they're like, "How fucking high are you right now?" I was like, "Not at all. I just had like a world-breaking revelation that my brain doesn't work the same as everybody else's."
Unfortunate.
But yeah, that's why I always thought it was weird that I could dream but not do that. And then there was also like I don't really have any reoccurring dreams, but until I was like 10 or 11, I wouldn't even call it like a dream. It sounds weird, but it's kind of like I kind of felt like That's So Raven, where it's just like I see like a mind's eyes image, but it was like anytime that I was going to throw up, I would daydream the same scenario or like the same scene, and like I can still remember it, which is weird. Like I don't know, have you guys ever seen Kung Pao? The like no, it's like Shaolin Soccer, but before Shaolin Soccer, like a spoof kung fu movie or whatever. But there's a scene in the movie at the beginning where he punches a guy in the stomach, and when he punches him in the stomach, like a chunk of him like this just slides out, and he's got like a hole through him, and it's like just like
yeah, I've seen that movie.
yeah, so
Yeah,
it's just a
100%.
green flesh or pink fleshy thing. That's what I used to see, is just like a bunch of pink fleshy like cylinder tubes, and I would be like jumping on them, and I would get to the end of like the things, and then just be like "Ah!" Like it was weird. Like I knew I was gonna throw up when that happened. Like there would be, I can throw up on command, but that's like a separate thing.
I too can throw up on command.
Yeah. And so
Kai, you the only one?
like
On God, right now, like you could pick up a
On
trash
God,
can.
right now,
Yeah,
I can
like, I don't
fill
have to
up
stick my fingers
the
back there,
contents of
I
my
can just-
stomach 100%. Yeah,
Like
same.
if I am feeling nauseous, right? Like if I drank too much, or if I ate something bad, and I could be like, okay, I'm ready to throw up, and then I can make myself throw up. But right now, like being completely fine, like I have no pain, nothing, I have no nausea, no indigestion. I could not just pick up a trash can and be like, bleh.
I could. It's gotten me out of work
it's
on multiple
yeah. I
occasions.
learned it
That's
as
wild.
like I learned
that
how
doesn't
to
make any sense.
It's not healthy at all, but I learned how to do it. I think probably when I was in like second grade, somewhere in there, because like I was terrified of being like abandoned at school or something, so I would throw up to
learned it
get
in high
people to
school.
come get me. So
I think
would
I
have to
could
go to
literally
school.
poke my uvula over and over again and not throw up
I mean,
because
same. I can do that. I don't have a
weak gag reflex.
I don't have one.
well, I mean, I would
super
gag
weak
over and over again,
reflex.
but I don't think that I would throw up.
No, like I can. You know how you do that, like when you're trying to clear your sinuses and you, like with your nose or whatever, like make that sound. Like I can do that, and that can like flex whatever in the back of my throat. That'll just trigger my ability to throw up.
Oh, no, I can just. I do it straight from the stomach.
throat.
I do it. It's like mine is like a deep right here in the gut, bro. I just like contort. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm putting pressure on my stomach.
I
to
will
squeeze
put
it out.
pressure in
It's
your guts.
honestly, because I can do it the way that you're talking about as well, Eric. And that way I would describe it as like it's like forcing yourself to burp, but you're burping the contents of your stomach.
Yeah, 100%. I would drink like a bottle of water before work if I didn't feel like being there. I
Are
done
you
it
in
all the
this?
time. But I would just drink a bottle of water, and I would be like, I would go to the bathroom so they could hear me audibly throw the fuck up, and I'd be like, "Hey, I just foo up. I gotta go." So
Daddy, I
I
just threw
throwed
up. I got to go home.
All I do is like open up my throat and like visualize something gross. I didn't want to say it because you knew you were gonna come in. I just relax. I just relax my throat and then like imagine just basically
Pro
me
strats.
open up like basically a tunnel to
Yeah.
my stomach to my throat, and then I just
That's
think
fine,
of
Joe.
gross shit, and then I'll throw up. Like it's like
But like, I know
whenever
you're feeling bad right now, but on God, you could do it like if you felt at 100%, like
I can do it
perfect, like
right now.
not a
I
care
feel
in the
great.
world.
I would have to eat something or drink like a lot of
I
water.
made myself throw up earlier.
Yeah,
do it right
like
now, Kyle.
it's also really
right
easy.
now.
Bulimia, Nathan. Do we need to talk about
I
this?
mean, no, I thought we'll talk about it off the podcast.
It's a lot easier whenever I'm in front of a toilet because I'll just focus on the inside contents of the toilet, and that's enough.
Yeah,
for me to
I mean,
Or just take a-
obviously, if I'm around super gross shit, if
through
I
your
fucking
nose.
put some fucking dog shit in my nose, I could fucking make myself throw up. But like just chilling here, I can just like think of like 2 girls, 1 cup, and fucking make myself puke.
Why
I
would
said
that make you
gross
puke?
shit,
That's
not
hot as
hot
fuck.
shit, bro.
I'm good. I can think happy thoughts and throw the fuck up right this very second.
Y'all
Bro.
are wild.
I don't know. It's just
It helps out. So I don't know what it is.
It comes
about
in
me
clutch,
specifically,
like-
but it does come in clutch. But like, if I ever eat anything undercooked at all, right? Like outside of steak, essentially.
Or
Like
sushi.
if I go somewhere, yeah, and sushi. But if I go somewhere and like I have chicken and the chicken was just slightly underdone, my stomach is like, hey,
in the back.
that shit was not cooked.
Um,
Get that shit out. Ejectocito, cuz, and I hit the button and that shit comes right out.
when I used to drink all the time, super fucking clutch.
Did you get it?
It's going. You can't see it. No, I did it though. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
But yeah, I would like if ever there was a point where I felt like I was too drunk, or sometimes if I was just like I'm too full, I need to make room for this next shot. Like
No, dude, honestly, throwing up is one of the worst things that I can think of all times. I would rather
enjoy
be
it.
sick. I
I
got
enjoy
some
throwing up,
like literally
I don't enjoy it.
3 bulimics and a guy.
bro.
that's the new podcast.
Podcast.
It's just I don't know. Usually, I think it's just because it's throwing up is associating with
I
feeling
instantly
like
feel better.
shit, and then doing that, and then feeling almost immediately
Yeah,
better.
it's always immediate relief for me as
Like,
well.
especially-
I feel 10 times better.
I can do it where like sometimes if I eat something that like fucks with my stomach, it won't hit me that night, but it'll start to hit me like while I'm sleeping, and then I'll wake up and be like, I don't fucking feel good.
Yep, then that.
And I forgot where I was going with it. Never mind.
I would do that bad whenever I got like really bad heartburn. I would wake up and be like, I gotta get this shit out. And
I
it would just be like a layer of fucking stomach acid. And I would fucking get it out and I would feel 10 times better
That shit,
immediately.
those
It was
throw ups don't feel
especially-
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, what I
Those
would
pukes,
do,
yeah.
like you
Definitely
wake up
not.
and like you
Sour as fuck. I can feel that now.
Throats raw afterwards.
you wake up and you feel like shit, or I wake up and I feel like shit, then I go throw up, and then when I come back to bed, it's like the best sleep that I've ever got. Like I immediately
On
feel like
God.
100 times better. There's no like usually if I have to get out of bed to do something while I'm sleeping and I get back into bed, it's gonna take me a little bit to fall asleep. But if I just threw up, bro, I'm going right to fucking sleep.
Takes you right out of you. Tucker's the little guy right out, you know?
This is another shirt off shit thing, bro. I would rather be miserable
Good
for
so-
days than throw. I
Right.
hate throwing up so much. I would choose if there was a button and I felt like absolute ass, and I could click a button and throw up. I wouldn't click it. I would feel like ass. If 48 hours, 72. I would feel like shit for that whole time period rather than willingly throw up.
Like-
I've thrown up once in the last 7 years.
That's wild. Like I don't know. It just I've been able to do it for so long that it's genuinely like a cough. Like that's the type of bodily function I could compare it to. Like that's how much of a step it makes me miss or doesn't make me miss. Like unless I'm like violently ill, then like yeah, that shit sucks. Or like when you throw up and it like feels like it comes up in all like one circle and it just like hurts all the way coming
That's
up.
physically the only time I ever throw up. So like it's literally only exorcism throw up. Like there is if I was
See, mine's
there has
exorcism
never
throw
been
up as well, but it's
there
more
has
like
never
projectile.
been a moment that I threw up that look this door sitting here right, my hand is probably halfway to this door. There has never been a moment that I threw up in my life that I'm not confident that sitting in this chair right here it would hit that fucking door.
Who wants chowder?
Like that shit is a fucking fire hose. And for the next 3 days after, my whole, from the top of my neck to the midway down my spine, literally feels like I just got ran over by a truck. It literally feels like someone took a fucking 15-inch dildo, wrapped that bitch in sandpaper, and throat fucked me violently for minutes.
That's the title of the podcast.
This podcast is getting
So I have a friend, my friend Aaron. I don't know if you guys met him. Yeah, you didn't meet him.
He throw punks people
in
with
August.
dildos and sandpaper.
No, so we went out there for his 30th birthday in June or
Maine?
July.
or
Maryland.
Maryland.
So we went to.
That's the dude that's getting married? That just got married?
Guy just got
They
married.
just got married recently, yeah. So we went to, for his birthday, he wanted to go to a steakhouse. It's the one where they have the hot plates. Ruth Chris. Terrible fucking steakhouse, by the way. It's not worth your time at all. It's a trash fucking steakhouse. Don't worry about it, ever.
Unless you want to sponsor this podcast, Ruth, we'd be happy to let you give us some money.
Well,
It's a
Ruth
great
Chris,
steakhouse.
I love
Just let us
Ruth
know. We got you, bro.
So he went and he was like, I want the tomahawk ribeye. That's all he wanted. It's like $150. So he has it and eats it all
Of course.
and gets back home and we're hanging out, having a drink. And literally, he's like, I gotta throw this up. And he throws up for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, bro.
I'd be mad at myself.
And he comes back and he blacked both of his eyes. Like, it was like so swollen and so dark, bro. It was, he looked like someone just walked up to him and just broke his fucking nose. It was that bad. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's wild. Yeah, no, like it doesn't. Like, and literally, unless I'm violently ill, it doesn't hurt. But like, there have been multiple times where I've been having like a regular conversation with somebody, and like mid conversation, I've just been like, and then I just continue the conversation like nothing happened, and it's always met with like, "What the fuck just happened?" And it's usually like,
Yeah, most people just don't like witness bulimia. Most people hide that shit.
I feel like I have a hard time. I don't know if it's a muscle I can control, but like closing off, like, you know how the esophagus splits off into the mouth and the nose.
Yeah.
Like I can't, when I'm throwing up, sometimes differentiate those holes.
Oh no, it's always coming through my nose. 100%
And I get it through the nose.
I've
sometimes.
never had
It's just-
The
It's
opposite.
bad. It hurts, especially if you eat spicy food like I do.
I don't know how you guys are mildly throwing up. That shit is wild.
Like, I know-
You're passively throwing up. That shit is an activity.
Because we
Like, I-
mastered it, bro.
like I know for
Facts.
sure.
It's been years.
I know for sure. Drew is.
You were born in it. Really adapted to the dark side, Nathan.
No, you're good. Like, I know for sure Drew has heard it because we've lived together for several years. But like, so the same muscle that like I use to kind of relax my throat to when I make myself throw up is like the same muscle that you use like when you're coughing or like trying to get like something out. So like there are times when like I do the thing and then like I'm sitting there like coughing and it's just like there's never any throw up. Like usually if there ever anything that comes out, it's like just stomach acid or just spit.
I think
but it's
We
like
both do that because I noticed it whenever we
All three of
started
us do that.
smoking a cigarette for that period of my life when I used to smoke cigarettes. And
Sounds so damn good.
different cigarette, but
Doesn't.
like we would both like smoke and then cough, and then at the end of the cough usually was and just even now, like
I
when I
have
have
a
my
video-
coughing fits because I'm sick,
I think
that's
I
what
have
happens.
A video on my phone of Marcus coughing after smoking a cigarette and coughing, and then he threw up in his lap. It's quite funny.
I haven't seen Marcus or heard of Marcus in a minute.
What,
Oh,
man?
actually, I'm thinking of who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of
Marcus
Marcus?
is,
One of Chris's friends.
Oh, I think the gay dude. I think that's Marcus.
I was gonna say that, but I
Thank you.
know it was rude.
That wasn't Chris's
mean-
friend, but yeah, gay Marcus. That's,
Okay.
that's his name
No,
on my
not
phone,
him.
the
He would like he
differentiator.
used to. He hung out like with that group, like
Brandon?
not often,
James?
but
Was
yeah,
it black?
Like, yeah, it was a,
Yeah, gay Marcus.
That wasn't Chris's
I remember
friend.
for some. I had to go. Right, I had to go. pick
Chris
him up or
Rayon?
something. Like,
This
I
feels
don't
like we're
remember-
just like tangenting off to unimportant
sure.
parts.
I do want to
But
bring up.
digressing, like
Okay.
60 full minutes. I just want to get this out just because we were on the topic and then we tangented for like literally an hour. But a top CES project that is super interesting is they now have, they call them invisible headphones. They're directional speakers, right? So it's a speaker bar, and on the speaker bar is a camera, and the camera has face tracking abilities.
I think I like this.
And it beams the sound.
I love this.
It has like control of the actual sound waves through advanced technology of some sort that I am not knowledgeable in, to where wherever you are, you can hear it clearly. And so the way they demonstrated this, right, is the dude stood in front of it and they like synced it to his face or whatever the fuck they had to do, and he held his phone with the recorder on right next to his face, and it was like very blatantly like a speakers, like normal speakers. Right. You're in a room, speakers are playing, you're hearing music, and then like his friend grabbed his phone and pulled it to the side and held it, and you could like the faintest, like maybe if someone had their headphones on loud, the faintest shit, right? And so like it just sits on your desk, it's got a camera, it tracks your face, and wherever you go, it just beams sound at you. And I thought that was super fucking cool.
That is super cool. Because I feel like if you turn your gain down a little bit lower and you have your fucking gate up, you'll never be able to hear it on like a mic.
No. It's called
if it's like a singular directional mic.
It's called the Noveto N1. Noveto N1.
Unrelated, but it is kind of technology related. I don't know. I can't remember which city it is specifically, but a city in Texas recently started this thing to where like they invented or created an app that you have to register to be able to use it or whatever. But it's essentially so if you get like a cop sees you speeding or something, they don't pull you over. They text you the ticket. And like there's also like there are like to me that sounds like terrifying. Like why the fuck would I ever like sign up to get tickets? Like it's fucking stupid. Like but there were some cool benefits to it. Like if the person is like deaf, they can put that in there so like the officer will be aware, or if they're like autistic or something, like you can put like medical conditions in there. And like that's the only thing that I thought was cool, but I just thought it was wild that like
I mean, you also don't get shot if you're like a minority, like because you just get emailed the ticket, all good.
But I feel like it's more of a there's going to be a lot more tickets that way than there is if a cop actually has to like pull you over.
I've gotten out of quite a few tickets, and I feel like those would never be in today. And the tickets that I have gotten out of, the first ticket I ever got out of, I was going down Sublet, and it was 1:45 in the morning, and I was in this beater ass fucking Honda. And I was driving past Stovall Park, and the community patrol Prius had just turned out, right? I fucking slam on the gas. I do from 40 to 60 in 5 seconds because it was a 96 Honda Civic. I blow past him. As soon as I blow
60.
past him, bro, at 60, 65, I look over, cop. I'm like, God damn it, bro. Cop pulls me over, and he's like, I clocked you at 62 in this 40 on a residential street. Why are you going so fast? And I was like, officer, my alternator is bad. It's been bad. My car could die at any second, right? Like, I'm just trying to get home. He's like, well, where do you live? And I was like, I live off of Sublet in 287. It's a mile from here. And the cop was like, all right, well, just drive safe. And I was like, sick, bro.
APD not want to do any paperwork.
Knock on wood, I've gotten out of the last like maybe 3 or 4 tickets I've been pulled over for, and like not even because I did anything special. I was just like upfront with the dude for the most part. But I also have.
And I was driving fast so I could get home.
Right.
Partially.
But I've also gotten out of tickets by just being like, yeah, I'm about to shit my pants. Like, what do you want to do about it, man?
One ticket, I never get one ticket. I get back to back. Like the last time I got a speeding ticket was like 6 years ago. But I got 5 tickets in 5 weeks.
God damn.
Yeah.
It's like $1,500.
Bro, I'm staying home after the 3rd one. Fuck.
I didn't pay him. I went to jail.
Nice.
Never been to jail. That's why.
It's like 5 days in jail.
Me either, Kyle. Also never been arrested.
No, shut. I'm the only person in this group that hasn't been to jail.
That has been to jail.
Sorry, excuse me.
I should have been taken to jail several times.
Fucking darky.
Did we say shut up, Nathan? No, just kidding.
No, I mean, like, I had, like, a warrant and shit and got pulled over, and the cop's like, did you know you have a warrant? And I was just like, what?
Must be nice to look
Crazy.
white.
That's literally
Facts.
the only benefit of being white passing.
Kyle,
Like,
you fucking bitch.
that's like the only time I get to
No
cash in on
shot.
that white privilege. Because
Yeah.
most
Must be nice to be white passing.
I don't know, like that
Couldn't be
wasn't
me or
literally like
I don't know, from this camera angle,
the white passing for me wasn't something that happened.
your
until,
white
like,
balance is pretty pretty light there, brother.
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm seeing
you're-
it in this camera. It's
You're on your
not like that
second.
at all.
You're on your
Yeah.
secondary camera.
I mean, even in this camera, I'm still a
I don't
nice
know,
hefty
bro.
tan, bro.
I don't know.
like I was
Not as dark as you, like in comparison.
like in high school.
I don't know why I took offense to that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Like
What
I
do you
didn't
call it, dark?
I guess start looking white until probably around the time I started working at Rusty's because I stopped seeing the sun and I haven't really
Fair.
gone back. But like in high school,
also
and
feel
shit,
like
I
there's-
skated, I played sports, I was like always outside, so like I usually had like a decent base coat going on. It
Base
wasn't until
coat?
like lately
Right.
that like I look
Also-
like a white man.
I also feel like the 4-foot hair doesn't help. I don't feel like I
doesn't.
see a lot of Mexicans with
but-
hair to their belly button.
The more surprising thing is like it went from people thinking I was Middle Eastern to being like, "You're white, right?" Like, what? Like how the fuck? Like I assumed it's just because I had a lot of Middle Eastern friends growing up. And like
Well, I
was
feel like
always
the-
with one of them, so it just like people assumed like, "Hey, they both have big noses."
I think
feel
the
like
most
the-
assumption I got was Latin American.
I get Latino, Hispanic all the time because of my
Yeah.
beard, and Asians
Yeah.
can't grow beards. But I feel like the line between Middle Eastern dude and Amish white dude is pretty thin,
It's especially
depending on the
some
clothing and the hair.
Some Middle Eastern people are very, very, very white.
Yeah.
Because you have a very Amish beard, right?
Oh, for sure. And that's why like I don't do it or I haven't done it in a while, but that's like one of the reasons I'll buy that like just for men shit and like dye my beard because it's like there is enough hair up here to like have a beard, but it's like my mustache is mostly like white and blonde. My cheeks have a lot of blonde and gray hairs, so like you just can't see it, so it looks Amish. So,
Elijah, calm down. It's okay.
Zachariah,
good.
chill.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Ezekiel, we're good. We
I
understand.
had
Alright, we
I
get
had
it.
I had a friend named Zachariah and his twin brother was named Ezekiel.
Were they Amish?
No, they're like
White dudes?
some sort of Christian, but they
Oh,
They were white as hell.
he's got like fucking brothers and sisters.
Hey, what's your name? Ezekiel? Fuck you, Ezekiel. What's your name?
And that
yeah.
has been SpaceBar Podcast, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We love you so much. We're also mad thankful Jude didn't shit his pants because that would have been awkward.
That would been great. It
Well,
was
a little
good
funny,
content.
to be honest. I need
True. Next
before
time.
we go. Who in here, as an adult, has shit their pants? Because I have shit my pants as an adult more than once.
Okay, like
Nobody
hold on.
answer that.
Where-
Nobody
where
answer
are we-
that. We're ending it here.
Where,
All right, we'll
where
see.
are we drawing the line? For real though, for real, on some real shit. Where are we drawing the line of
Are you talking
shit your
full-on
pants?
shit
Like
or shart?
I've shart my
Turtlehead?
pants, right? Like I've had a fart that was a little bit too rambunctious, right? And it like take a spray paint can, right? Like if you just tap the fucking top on a piece of board, that board's not painted. You didn't paint that board. You just got a little paint on the board, right? So if you just like you didn't shit your pants, right? You just got a little shit in your pants.
I mean, like when you've got a shit and there's that one fart that you know is holding literally everything in. As soon as that fart
Nah,
comes out, everything else comes out.
No,
No,
I've
never.
never full on shit my pants.
It's okay, Nathan. I shit my pants not too long ago, so that's all right.
I've never.
Probably
First
like
time
a
I shit
couple
my
months
pants, I
ago.
was on my way home from a Chuck E. Cheese. Shit my pants literally as I was pulling up to my house. Like I could see, I was putting my truck in park, looking at my front door, and just
Nah, see, I be getting that pressure in the car sometimes. I'd be putting a hand behind and like, leaning up.
I use the steering wheel to hold myself up.
Yeah.
Gotta
keep
relieve
the
some pressure off that beehole.
off the tip,
Yeah,
'cause,
you gotta do
But
one
no,
of
I've
these.
never, as an adult, shit my pants. I sharted when I was
Nathan, have you ever taken
off?
off your shirt to shit your pants?
Oh, not to shit my pants.
How about you guys just start living life a little bit more
Yeah,
adventurously,
take more risks.
more dangerously?
First of all, I can't.
I take a lot of risks.
I buy underwear so few and far between. I can't just be affording. Like, because if I shit my underwear, like motherfuckers, those are going in the trash. Like, I'm not about to
I'm
take
never
my
washing
underwear,
those, yeah.
take them off my shit covered ass, scrape the residential shit off the underwear. I'm an adult. I make enough money. Those motherfuckers are going in the trash.
So when I was in like 6th grade, last story, I got pneumonia. I didn't shit my pants, but I was at a restaurant and like I don't know how to describe it other than like anal leakage. Like I slowly like drip shit my pants, I guess. Like it oozed out. I literally, that's the only time I've ever done this.
Damn, that shit percolating, bro.
I literally went into that restaurant's bathroom, took my underwear off and threw them away.
God. Fair.
They're in the
Understandable.
bathroom. That's the same as the condom. Like some dude had to empty that trash can, bro. Like that's the last straw. You know that dude quit tonight. He went out and he said, Adam, I've been here for 11 years. This is the nicest spaghetti warehouse I've ever worked out. It's been a great time. But where I draw the motherfucking line is I'm not pulling shit-filled boxers out of your fucking garbage. I quit. Adam, I quit.
Well, first of all, if you're picking through the garbage like that, that's on you. It isn't a bag. Would you rather have your dining room smell like some 12-year-old shit or have some shitty underwear in a trash bag?
Shitty
First of all,
underwear,
I
for
didn't know
sure.
you were 12. But second of all, like, don't bring your kids out if they can't not shit their pants.
I had pneumonia!
That's fair.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you shit at your favorite pool hall's urinal. You guys have a good night.
Adios.
Later.
Bye! Have a wonderful time.